Hi, I am Ahmed Wahid and welcome to Open Frequency. Recently, our country has taken a turn for the worse. Some segments of our society support the government's moves, while others term them as unconstitutional and a violation of human rights. With the hope that a truly democratic system is on the way, we now discuss the fundamental rights, freedom of speech, and the right to vote. According to the Constitution of Pakistan, Article 9 states, "No person shall be deprived of life or liberty save in accordance with the law." And Article 19, "Every citizen shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, and there shall be freedom of press, subject to any reasonable restrictions imposed by the law in the interest of the glory of Islam or the integrity, security, or defense of Pakistan, or any part thereof, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency, or morality, or in relation to contempt of court, defamation, or incitement to an offense." So what do you guys think human rights entail?
Well, I think human rights is a social definition, you know. You can't have one that can be implemented across a broad framework. Because socially speaking, like what we consider to be human rights could be considered human rights abuse in other countries, you know.
And what do you think are very fundamental human rights?
And basically it all ties in with basic needs. That's human rights are. Like everyone should, a right is a necessity, it's not a luxury, right? So the basic rights would be security, physical safety, food, shelter, clothing, etc., etc. And those are basic human rights.
This is a very open debate. Let's talk more specific. Let's come to the right of freedom of human speech. Let's talk about freedom of speech, for example. Let's say, where do you draw the line on reporting? What
there is no freedom of speech in this country. Freedom of press is not given. It says very clearly within the constitution, within certain boundaries, in accordance with the glory of Islam. Basically, you can't say anything against anything because they don't let you. What happened in the state of emergency, they cut off all the news channels and everything.
All right, they wrote things against certain parties and they
No, I disagree. In Pakistan, we have more freedom of speech than in any other country.
How so? Can you cite that?
Well, the thing is, in Pakistan, there's more. No matter what the law says, as a people, I feel to certain political issues, we're a lot more open. In America, if you went, political issues, not religious issues.
No, that's completely untrue.
Politically speaking, we are much more open.
Politically speaking, we don't have
political issues aren't given mainstream coverage, but they're still published in newspapers, in journals. Maybe they're obscure.
Coming back, fine. Okay, then what about another fundamental right? The right to vote. Do we agree or disagree that this is a fundamental right?
No, we do agree that this is a fundamental right. But the differences in other countries and in Pakistan is that when they're voting, like for example in America, South Korea, where they have literacy rates of about 90 to 99%, whereas our literacy rate is below 40. The right to vote here is abused because people don't know what they're voting for, who they're voting for. They don't understand. If they're uneducated,
so it can't be a fundamental human right if it can't be applied across a broad spectrum of society.
It is a fundamental human right, but it
the
has
act of
flaws.
voting, as for which the criteria is age, I think it's completely ridiculous because in Pakistan, there's no democracy. Even if everyone gets to vote and stuff, because, well, the thing is, Pakistan, the political system in Pakistan is based on your brotherly system. You know, you just basically your whole your village elder, he just tells you what to vote for and stuff.
Within that context, we have some student movement uprisings recently for the right to vote, for the judiciary.
Right.
Like during the current crisis, it resulted in massive political deployments in the campuses, saw student activists being detained along with their teachers. The father of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, stated, "You must devote yourself wholeheartedly to your studies, for that is your first obligation to yourself." So the question then becomes, should students be involved in political activism? Should students be involved in politics at all?
The students should have the right. The students should have the right to stand up for what they believe in, right? Look, all these LUM students, they stood up. They protested against the government, and look what happened. They were all thrown in jail.
That ties in with the earlier point about education. Why shouldn't students have the right to vote? They are the educated people. Obviously, you know they're students, they're educated.
They have the right to vote, they have the education. But why would, they are not mature enough to understand these issues.
My point is the reason why they tried to hold these revolts, they tried to make anything happen was to make a difference. The fact is that difference wasn't made. What they need to do, you need to have organization in whatever country you are, whether you're literate, whether you're illiterate, it has nothing to do with it.
I think students get, they have a tendency to get a bit carried away at times.
Alright, this is a very heated debate. When we come back from the break, we'll talk about the new voting age and the government's policies.